Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about Uber Eats and the pros and cons for them. So, Uber Eats is like DoorDash and Grubhub. You pick up the food and you go to the customer. We all know that. So, for the pros, the first pro for Uber Eats to me is the restaurants are pretty quick, which means you can deliver more per hour. So, usually, what Uber Eats does is they'll take the order, they'll give it to the restaurant, they'll wait about 10 minutes, and then they'll send it to you. So, once you get to the restaurant, most of the time it'll already be ready and you don't have to have any wait time. With DoorDash and Grubhub, there's a lot of wait time most of the time with their orders, but with Uber Eats, there's not that much wait time. So if you're not waiting at all, that means you can deliver it faster. You can go back to your place, or you can get another order, and then as a result, you do more orders per hour, which means you can make a little bit more money, which is a good thing. The second pro for me is the customers are usually friendly. With Uber Eats, most of the time, since it's mostly fast food or quick food, most people aren't really like too much tripping about, oh, like, I want my food fast, unless you're taking like an hour, then it's something else. But for the most part, people are very chill. As long as you send them a little text or let them know, hey, the restaurant's not ready with the food yet, they'll be like, okay, that's fine. Like, they're not gonna rush you. I've had a couple experiences like that. I used to do Uber Eats late night, and it was a wreck. Like, McDonald's don't ever do Uber Eats at nighttime. I learned that the hard way. That was when I first started doing Uber Eats. And also Starbucks. Starbucks lines are very long and you can't go in after a certain time. So I had to text my customers, let them know, oh, hey, there's a long drive-through line. And they were all okay with it. They were like, no problem. Like, even, I think the Starbucks person, I think she tipped me $5. And it literally took me an hour just to get in and out from the drive-through, which was hectic. This was like at 12 at night, though. But usually they'll be okay with it. And they're not tripping about it. Okay. So the third one is usually their base pay is higher than the other food apps. Example, with DoorDash, their base pay, the lowest is $2. It can go up if people start if they reject the orders and they keep getting passed around, then they'll go up. And then Grubhub, their base pay is very low. They don't pay enough when it comes to the base pay. And I think they might be the worst ones now when it comes to just base pay because it's very low. The miles aren't enough per dollar. It's very bad. I believe it's 22 cents or 23 cents, and then that's not good enough. And then DoorDash, if you get a big tip, they're gonna pay you the minimum, which is $2. But yeah, usually with Uber Eats, you get paid for the miles, for the wait time, and for the time that from the time that you get to the store to the customer. That's when they start paying you. Not they don't pay you when you're going to the restaurant, but they will start paying you once you get there. So that's kind of nice, and then you can get tips afterwards too. So you're not too relying on just, oh, okay, well, this is all I made. Like with DoorDash and Grubhub, they'll tell you straight up what you make, which is good. And then with Uber Eats, they'll let you know your base pay, and then you can get a tip. But those are three pros that I feel like are with Uber Eats. So now let's talk about the cons. So the first con, at least just in my market, it doesn't tell you how far the customers are. So I know in certain markets, they're already telling you the distance between you and the restaurant, and then from the restaurant to the customer. For us, at least in Los Angeles, we just get the time to the restaurant. So I'm not too sure where I'm going afterwards. So I can be going 5 miles, 10 miles. I can be going for a very long time and a very far distance. And then it's the worst when it's dinner time, only because there's so much traffic. So if you're going long distances, it's gonna take you at least a half hour to get through your order. So that's a big negative for me, at least. That means less dollars per hour and not enough orders per hour, and just the traffic sucks if you're going far. If you're going close, then that's fine. But at least in my market, it's a crapshoot. Like, you're not too sure where you're going until you pick up the food. So that's a big con for me, at least in my market. I know other markets they do tell you, but at least for me, that's a con. The second one, I'm sorry, are the tips aren't guaranteed. They do have a higher base pay than other food apps, but still, it's not enough to sustain. So your base pay might be $4, $5. That's fine, but if you don't get a tip, even if it's $2, $3, then if you're doing 2 orders per hour, that's only $10. That's not enough. And remember, you got to account with traffic, and sometimes they get delayed. So if you're not making enough per order, then that means you're not gonna make enough per hour. So that's why DoorDash and Grubhub can be nice, because they do tell you straight up what you're making per the order, so that you can take a guess. Not take a guess. I'm sorry. You can see if it benefits you or not. With Uber Eats, you kind of have to hope for a tip most of the time, because even the far distances, they're not the best. But it is what it is. Everything has their pros and cons. And the third one to me is, at least again, in my opinion, in my market, it doesn't tell you how much you're making before the drop off. So they do tell you how far you are from the restaurant, but towards the end, until you deliver the food, you're not gonna know how much you make. So that can be a con. At least for me, that's a con, only because I do want to know how much I'm making since I'm going a certain distance. So usually, like, McDonald's are usually the lowest base pays, only because the people that order from McDonald's, they're very close to the McDonald's they order from. So you'll be having a $3 order, if you're lucky, maybe a $4 order at best. They are kind of fast, but it's not enough. Like, even if you do 3 orders, so 4 times 3, that's $12 an hour. That's not good enough, at least for me. So that kind of sucks. Like, if they did tell you straight up how much you're gonna make per order, I would take a couple of them. But since I don't know, and then I don't know the distance, then it makes it very hard for me to take anything when it comes to Uber Eats, unless DoorDash and Grubhub are completely dead. Which usually it's not that way, but I will take a couple Uber Eats. But yeah, that's about it. So those are some pros and cons for Uber Eats. So if you guys liked it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you guys.